Hi, travelers. Tara here, and I'm going to be coming to you today with an open reading. I don't know how many more of these are going to be left for the end of the month of July, but I'm using today, I'm using the Sherlock Holmes Tarot, and I haven't used these in a while. And these are, of course, are read differently. I'm trying to clean my glasses because, I don't know, they're always so dirty. But what I will tell you about this spread is that this is... it involves a man, of course, a woman, and there is a child here. So we're just going to start off with the, let me get my Sherlock Holmes book here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana. I have the world, the devil, the star, and the hermit. I have 3 5s here. I don't know if this is the 5 of swords. They've got different kind of, and I've got because I can never remember what they look like. It's I get the swords and the pentacles mixed up. Okay, so I have a 5 of swords, I have a 5 of cups, and I have a 5 of coins here. I have 2 6s, the 6 of cups, okay, and the 6 of pentacles here. Of course, there are 2 9s here with the 9 of swords and the hermit. Right in the center, I have the number 3. And I have 1 ace, and it is the ace of swords. Now, this is the story that these cards are telling me. And you guys know I don't normally like to read, open a spread where the cards are already put down, because I like for you guys to see me put the cards down. But as I said, I hadn't had my hands on these cards in quite some time. And so I was just in here playing around with them, just trying to touch them and see what was going on. And I drew these cards. I actually I pulled 10. And then when I got to the end, I was like, I need to see there's more to this particular story. So I put down another 5 cards. So we're looking at a 15 card spread. Right in the center, we have this 3 of coins here. Take a look at that. Okay. And everything else is going on around this 3 of coins. I'm going to give you my intuitive read. What I'm looking at is a situation where, in a sense, that has come back around. I think at one point there was a relationship here between a man and a woman, but that relationship soured, and it's really ugly. Right now, it devolved into something very ugly. And I think, well, not I think, this star card is quite interesting here, sitting where it sits, because it speaks to some kind of clarity coming through, all right? Perhaps some recognition of some sort. But what this top row is telling me is that this particular male has been, I guess, maybe immersed in whatever it is that he's been doing. Maybe he's been trying to distract himself. And he has been in a place perhaps where he feels that everything is okay. And thus he has is trying to, in one respect, move on as though nothing has happened, or nothing, as if nothing has happened. because it's the World card, we would assume that this person feels that this end of this chapter that they've gone through is complete. It's done. But here comes the devil, who is Professor Moriarty. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about Sherlock Holmes, this was his arch nemesis. Okay? And no matter what Sherlock tried to do, he always ran into some kind of devious plan from this guy. You thought the guy was gone. He'd show back up. He was always doing tricks and having convoluted things going on to kind of thwart Sherlock Holmes. But the interesting thing about those two is that they were, in effect, they were mirrors of each other. They were both highly intelligent. If Sherlock had gone the other way, he would indeed be Moriarty. And if Moriarty had gone the other way, he would indeed have been Sherlock Holmes. Okay, so they are mirrors of each other. So in effect, not only is this about, I do feel in some respect, this is about that enemy within. Okay. But I also feel that it is a situation that has cropped back up. One that, I think has caught this person by surprise. Now that the situation has returned, the 7% solution is here. Well, Sherlock used to dabble in drugs, and that in effect it's in a form of escapism. He made an excuse for it by saying, you know, this is what helped me, or whatever. I could go into a meditative state, whatever the case may be, and I can help, you know, solve the crime or come to the conclusion. But to me, this reads like the sudden reappearance of this situation has put this person, this man, has in effect kind of, maybe metaphorically, put him on his back. And maybe it did require that this person have a drink or indulge in something. But what this is all about, really, it's a secret. There's a secret here. And I feel that the secret involves a child. This 5 of coins, let me read you the meaning of it, because this is the only card to me that I haven't been able to quite figure out what it's saying. What I find interesting is that in the spread itself, let me show you the cards. Here is the 6 of coins. Okay, and that's a busy ass card. There's honeycombs, there's flowers, there's Sherlock with his beekeeper's net and his pipe out in the garden. Here we see him, we could maybe say that that might be hobbies or something. Here we see him reading the London Times, brushing up, informing himself about what's going on. I do feel that that is a distraction. Here we have Moriarty showing back up with his cup of tea. And you can see there's some people being robbed in the background. Okay, and I think there is a financial component to this. Here we see the 7% solution, Sherlock, after he has partaken of his morphine. We have the 5 of coins. Now this is the card that I haven't quite been able to place. The 5 of swords. Okay, look at this. It's 3 5s in a row. Here is the 5 of, what? I can never remember this. The 5 of cups. The 5 of cups. Here is the 3 of coins. Here is the ace of swords. There is the 6 of coins, and I don't even know. Oh, they're at a horse race. That was weird. It kind of looked like a pump. Just it didn't really come into focus. I couldn't figure out what that. There's a horse. There's a 6 of coins. That's a horse and a rider, and they're watching the race. Here is the star card. Here is the 9 of swords. Here is the 2 of swords. Okay, so it's heavily weighted with the swords. Here is the 3 of Cups. I'm sorry. The Ten of Cups. And then we end the spread with the Hermit. And that's Sherlock's brother Mycroft, who is another character. Now, this is heavily weighted towards the sword. So this tells me, particularly around this time with the eclipses and the Mercury retrograde, there's a lot of perhaps thought or planning or conversation or information that is trying to bring itself to the surface. Whatever this secret is, and like I said, I do feel that it, in one respect, involves a child. It's almost like the cards are telling me that the secret has been in plain view all along. So for some of you, if you've been dealing with a man who, as you know him as a single father, but there's always been something that hasn't been quite right with the situation. And what I mean by that is that you have always known that there's something that has not been revealed to you about the child or the situation with the child. The secret has been there in plain sight all along. Okay. And maybe this is what will kind of reveal itself to you around the eclipse. Now, because eclipses are funny. For the most part, they conceal things, but sometimes they will reveal something to you. And it may go back to something that happened months ago or a year or so ago that has been kind of in the back of your mind. You always kind of question, I don't understand what the hell is really going on there. And you haven't had any information. The person hasn't shared any information. Maybe there have been hints. Maybe you've been yourself trying to do some detective work to find out what has been happening. But it's like you've been thwarted. You cannot get to the truth of this situation. In one respect, I would look at that, the 7% solution. Actually, this is not even, that is a major arcana card. That is the Hierophant. I just realized that. So we have the World, the Devil, and the Hierophant. And again, there's this quality of higher knowledge, higher self. That's, like I said, what Sherlock, his excuse to get high was, it sent him to a place where he could do whatever it was that he did best. With the 3 5s, one right after the other, we're looking at the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Swords, and the 5 of Coins. So there is some upheaval, some conflict, emotional conflict, mental, I don't know, gymnastics, and then there are finances here, I think, that are involved with this. Now, the 3 5s, and I'm just going to give it to you, because these cards aren't read like any other cards, right? And I think I explained to you that each deck has its own, well, isn't that interesting? It says there's a warning not to overexert yourself. I don't really think that there's been a lot of overexertion, except maybe mentally because of the number of swords. So this could be a situation in which there has been, perhaps under the surface, a lot of extreme worry and fear and anxiety. Now, what's interesting is the 5 of Cups next to the Star card tells of a karmic lesson, karmic experiences and lessons being learned, and of whatever this thing is, it's about to leave your life. It says that there are bright blessings ahead for you, but whatever this is, you have to go through it first. Check this out. Next to the Devil It is an indication that you must take the time to contemplate all options and avenues before stepping forward. Quiet, positive contemplation is needed to achieve focus. Not to do so will incur wasted energies. It infers that time must be spent in contemplation because energies are being wasted. Kind of the same thing. Okay? And maybe that's that energy of the hermit there. Now, I have 2 sixes. I have a 6 of cups and a 6 of coins. So let's go to the 2 sixes. Okay? This 6 is not near any, it's near the world card. There's the world card. Now, 2 sixes tell of justifiable faith and trust in your partner. Well, I would say that that may have been the case in the past, and maybe there's still some vestiges there that remain. But once I read you the meaning of this 5 of swords here, you're going to be like, no, that ain't quite right. Let me see about this 6 of coins. It is near the hermit card. I'm trying to see. Nothing. Now, we have a lot of swords here, so let me get to the swords. This is what I would like to find this interesting. There's a lot of swords here. A lot. Okay. Nothing about the 5 of swords next to the star card. Let's go to the 5 of, let's go to the 9 of swords. Wow. And I know y'all hear, y'all probably hear tarot readers say all the time, oh my God, it's so interesting. Blah, 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 blah. When the 9 of swords appears next to the star, it asks you to have faith and be grateful for the gifts already received in your life. Gratitude should be your attitude. The 9 of swords next to the star is telling you that all is not lost, and you are asked to have faith and trust. Things may not seem as though they are going as you would like at this moment, but this will turn around in quick time, so keep the faith. Now, what I feel has happened here is that this relationship between this man and this woman, maybe they were married, maybe they were live-in companions or partners, whatever the case may be. I think that there was a child between these two. I think there has been a lot of serious issues. Even though the 2 sixes are saying you having justifiable faith in the partner, I think that was in the past. And there could be still some hope or holdout that maybe There is still something good to be salvaged in this, but I do not believe that is true. And this could be what the karmic lesson is, the lesson about being grateful for where you are now, for where you've come and what you have. But the lesson is it's time now to let go. Well, here's the devil. The devil doesn't want to let go. The meaning of this Five of Swords, and the reason why I keep saying this, let me give you the meaning of this Five of Swords here. When I read it, I was like, wow, that's quite profound. There are no wands, and there are only one, let's see, 1, 2, 3 cup cards here. Just 3. So now the Five of Swords. The key words are slander, defeat, cowardice, unethical behavior, divisive means, thwarted plans, malicious intent, being burgled, misfortune, loss, mourning, pain, and vengeance. The game, and this is the positive aspect, theft of your identity, slander or loss of your good name, humiliation from treachery or cowardice, thwarted plans, abuse, assault, or bullying, unethical behavior or malicious intentions, envious opponents steal from you, a sense of defeat, break-ins, sloppy or malicious thinking may cause things to go awry, helping those who may be damaged. Now, the fog. Reestablishing your hard-won reputation, being alert to the signs of treachery, not being defeated by past mistakes, an advocate or witness who supports you, personal regret or envy towards others leads you to undermine reputation, getting to the bottom of a web of envy or malice. Now, there's a saying here, the motives of women are so inscrutable. So I think in one respect over here, this is about the discovery that something, this person that you've been dealing with, I think there's been a lot of animosity between this man and this woman. And the star card in effect is like the discovery of that, the crystallization of this idea. So I do feel in one respect that they have separated. But I also feel that there is some kind of hold over the man, in the sense that I think there's some kind of financial, either this woman knows something about him financially, or she is in effect kind of holding something hostage or holding something over his head for finances. Okay. This was the unexpected thing. Okay. Maybe there has been some, but this is the trap being sprung. Okay. See the surprise in his face? It's like he's being held up. He's being robbed. It's not funny, but he's being held up. So what does the person do? The person decides to hide whatever this is in plain sight. But there's a revelation. Somehow or another, there's either some information or some news that comes in. You see the person is woken up from their reverie. And it's right underneath this Hierophant of the 5% solution. Whatever this information is, it leads to the 6 of coins. The suit of deduction. Let me get to it. And it still keeps telling the same story. The keywords are it says rediscovering your roots, nostalgia for simpler or happy times, wistful remembrances of the past, anniversaries that recall other times, an unselfish act, a sense of loyalty or obligation, volunteer service to others. However, the fog is being stuck in the past. New opportunities begin to show themselves, steering by outworn traditions. And this is what the Hierophant can speak to. Memory of anniversaries, sometimes painful, playing on the guilt of another, or old events trigger difficult memories. Future events and prospects promise of better times to come and plans that might fail. Well, if you don't change something, they indeed could fail. So what it looks like is there's a resolution trying to come about, but there's still something that has not been resolved just yet. Okay? Let me read this. You see, because this implies that the star card always brings about hope, peace, and optimism, and wishes and wishful thinking, wistfulness. But it says pessimism, the fog of that, pessimism dominates your life. You are too stubborn to see the error of your ways. You look for omens of a change for the better and yet fail to welcome them. By refusing to look, you miss the vital clue. Inspiration has dried up and needs refreshment. Conditions are too unstable to make headway. You repress your emotions in response to attack or ingratitude. You are unable to find the right guidance. Following every sign can lead to confusion. This can also speak to problems with your self-image continue to dog your path. So I feel that this man feels that he, in one respect, he's searching everywhere, trying to figure out how to extricate is not the right word, but to unentwine himself from this situation. But I think he's stubborn and he doesn't want to come up off of whatever it's going to take to do that. Okay? Well, I don't like the fact that you came in here and threw down an ultimatum. You're trying to take something from me. You know? I don't like that. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hide that shit in plain sight. You're not going to know what I did with it. But there's only so long that this situation can go on. Here we have the Nine of Swords. Okay? Let me get to them. Here we have the Nine of Swords. The suit of observation. Suffering, cruelty, despair, depression, grave doubts, guilt, premonitions that weaken your resolve, inability to take responsibility for your own path, gossip, shame, disgrace, ill-favored rumor, and struggle. Which leads us to, there's a choice. There's that Two of Swords. There's a choice. There's something we're going to have to face. Okay? Amnesty or temporary peace, indecision, compromise, hesitation, suspension of deeply held beliefs or opinion, analysis before action. The negative keywords are treachery, duplicity, betrayal, false friendship, and dishonor. Now, this is what I find to be most interesting, is this Ten of Cups. Look at that card. There is a child walking back into a very, very opulent home. There are his parents standing at the end of the hallway. Now, the story behind this is that this kid was kidnapped and brought back finally returned to the parents. And for me, there have been two things that have come up. I do feel that there is a child custody issue in this. I think that that the thing that is hidden in plain sight really is about the child. Perhaps these two people have lost sight of that. I don't feel that they are using the child like a pawn in that particular sense. But to me, it speaks to some kind of control issue. This reads like a Ceres event, okay? Where Ceres is forced to give up something that she cares about very, very deeply. The only difference is what I'm picking up is that it is not the female who is in the Ceres role. It is the male. I don't think the female has ever really had a whole lot of maternal or nurturing kind of feelings about the child. It could even have been that the man found out perhaps the hard way. Well, the only reason I had the baby was because it was a way for me to, get money or have the kind of life that I wanted. It was a way for me to hang on to you. That's really the feeling that I'm getting off of this. I think the decision here is, I still feel that the male is not willing to let go of the situation. There's an old saying that people say, it's cheaper to keep her. Well, as long as, even if we don't live together and we don't speak together, we don't speak really, we don't live with each other anymore, I'm not going to divorce you. I'm not going to. Why? Because it's going to save me more money. Okay? It's kind of one of those things. That's what I'm picking up off of this. Really, the whole key is trying to, in one effect, maintain a particular outward appearance, so that maybe they do come together every once in a while for the sake of the child. But the imagery of this card is this kid is quite lonely and is not being fooled by what's going on. You see, the parents aren't even rushing towards the kid. They're making the kid walk that long gauntlet to come to them. They are not, the couple is not holding hands. They're not comforting each other after seeing their child return from being kidnapped. They're simply standing in their finery, waiting for the child to come to them. So even if the kid is not old enough to articulate, the kid knows what the truth is here. Knows. Don't think because the kid is... The positive keywords are wholeness, fellowship and family, perfection of contentment, the holiness of the home, peace and happiness, the completion of desire shared by others. Well, yeah. But the negative keywords are anger, fury, sorrow, insults, rage, and violence toward others. So it's like and I think in one respect, that is also what has been hidden in plain sight, that there is extreme disharmony in this relationship. In the sense that, there may have been public arguments or public fights, but also in the sense that just the energy hanging around these two people when they're together makes it quite clear to anybody from the outside looking in that shit is not the way it appears to be. Now, here's Mycroft. He is the Hermit. The keywords are guidance, spiritual truth, illumination, wisdom, wise counsel, introspection, a necessary space for reassessment, but also maturity. The negative keywords are self-inflicted isolation, fear, disguise, and sullen silence. It's in a way like the person is not going to say, I am effing miserable in this situation. They're not going to admit that, because then that means, I think, for them that the person, it is really a failure. They're trying to uphold some kind of traditional, but it's all for show. It's all for show. Now, I was saying to you that this Five of Cups, I can't quite place this Five of Cups and what it's saying to me. So I'm going to read the Five of Cups for you. I think it's the cups. Well, I can never tell. No, it's the coins. Five of Coins. Adversity, insecurity, loneliness, strain, barren prospects, destitution, the need to be firmly grounded. Reversed, it says reacquiring self-worth, gaining perspective, new friendships, difficulties begin to abate, and learning to give generously. It is also about blaming your misfortunes upon others. Okay? Now, it starts off with this Six of Coins, and that was something that I'm not, sorry, not Six of Coins, Six of Cups. Yeah, I read that. I read that. So it's almost like there is a kind of a new beginning. There was a new beginning. There still is, but there's some things that really need to be rectified. I think if any of you have been dealing with, let's say, for instance, maybe you met somebody. They may, like I said, have been a single dad, a single parent. But again, there's always been something about the situation that you know is not right. You can't put your finger on it. You haven't been able to get any clarity on the situation. You still may not. But I do think that something, whatever this thing is that in effect has been hidden in plain sight, I think will reveal itself. And I think the reason how or why it's going to reveal itself is because maybe in some aspect you may have offered assistance, whether this assistance has been through advice or the actual physical, hey, if you need something, I can help you do something if you need. Not so much out of feeling sorry, but for perhaps understanding that the person is in it. Maybe I think you see the situation much more clearly than the person themselves see the situation. Okay? This person, I do feel, like I said, is in denial or is trying to distract themselves from it, to say that nothing needs to change, everything is fine the way that it is. But we know that when there is no change, when things become stagnant, it tends to disintegrate and fall apart. It can no longer stand the way that it is. There's no tower here. In one respect, I feel that this is a tower situation. I think it has already collapsed, but there's this veneer over it. It's something that we can't see. It's in plain sight, but we can't see that shit has completely collapsed. I want to look at the Devil. Challenge, ignorance. And ignorance doesn't mean that you're stupid. It just means that you are either not willing to inform yourself about what it is that you need, or maybe you're not quite sure. Basically, it's to me, it is being unaware. but you can be willfully ignorant, okay? Ignorance, self-limitation, inflexibility, obstacles which must be overcome, unconscious fears realized, stagnation, incisive change, and creative possibilities. The negative part of this is fatalism, weakness, bondage, and disease. The overthrow of illusions may lead to extremes of behavior. Remember that laughter deflates pomposity. Liberation from stale ideals is always possible. Recovering your humanity brings reality to you, but you find it hard to avoid temptation. By checking your motivation, your path becomes clearer as new insights appear. Free yourself from doubts and fears through spontaneity and humor. And remember, I said it's like it's being glossed over, like to the outside world. Everybody is, you think you're showing them your best face, but you're not fooling anyone. People know exactly that that shit has, it's beyond the beyond. Okay? What I want to do is I want to look at this. I'm going to use the La Vida Civiles. It is this Five of Swords that stands out to me the most. Why? She's the only female in the entire spread. And it's like the cards are saying in one respect, the man still doesn't understand why the woman is the way that she is. Or why the situation went the way that it was. Or why it is that I think he feels as though deep down we're talking about those issues of self-esteem, self-worth, the way we want to appear has been extremely damaged on a deep psychological level. And the person is still trying to figure out what's wrong with me that this person didn't want me. But it's in a stubborn, obstinate kind of a way. What's interesting is I don't even see any friends around this person who is there in the real world sense to assist and to help. What I see is, you know, someone here that can help you have a good time. Another distraction. But really there's something being stolen from you. Now, whether this is really in a monetary sense or not, maybe that is the way you feel or you think that the situation is, or you're thinking that somebody's stealing something from you. But if you give it to them, they can't steal. You see what I mean? So sometimes this is about acquiescing and recognizing that it is sometimes easier to let things go than it is to hang on to them. Because then you completely disarm the person and you take the power out of whatever these two fives are. This is so ugly. Because we see things trying to change, but there's a lot of indecision and hesitancy here. And it's like the universe has given clues and insights to this male to show him the way through this, but he's busy distracting himself. He's doing other things not to have to deal with it. I want to look at this Five of Swords. I think this really is the most telling because, like I said, there's one female here. There's somebody else in the picture. And there probably was somebody else in the picture all along. That this relationship was never really, it was one-sided. It really was. I think the man was more in love with the woman, or the idea of what he thought the kind of life he could have with this particular woman, but she was never interested really in him that way. And maybe the child just came along because, you know, whatever, we were doing our thing, yada yada yada. Did I read the Nine of Swords? And it's like maybe in one respect, the man is trying to hang on to the child because he feels that that is a power position. She will return as long as the kid is here. She's not. She's not going to return. In fact, she, in effect, wants to somewhat buy her freedom. Give me this and I'll go away. You know. And in effect, if the man is helping to supplement her income, or, you know, paying for her a nice place to stay simply because that's the mother of the child, in effect, that's being stolen from you. It's not even being appreciated. In fact, it's not even wanted. In one respect it is, in one respect it's not. So I want to look at the devil here. Isn't that funny? There's this I don't think this person wants to let go. And he's very conflicted about that, but he's not willing to move from his position. I think that's quite apparent from the Prigioni. But, you know, the thing is, it speaks to restrictions and limitations, but is it because you yourself are refusing to move or budge? Did you lock yourself into this basement prison? You know? And if so, it really is nobody's fault but your own. Only you can liberate yourself from this situation. And maybe that's what is up for review right now. And it's really this Three of Cups. It's a Three of Cups. It's like the person doesn't even want to be bothered. I don't even want to be bothered. And I think that is, I can't remember if that's either Sherlock or Waking Watson. In the middle of the night. The Two of Swords. It really speaks to indecision and depression and sadness and indecision. And this, to me, this is irritability. The person is irritated with the situation, yet they cannot or refuse to make a decision about it. I'm going to look at this Three of Coins here in the center. I think it's coins. It might be a cup. I don't know why I keep calling it coins. It might be a cup card. One second. There are no wands in this, so this tells me that there's not a lot of energy around this. This is more of a mental, spiritual kind of a thing. No, it's a coins. Three of Coins, not cups. Three of Coins. craftsmanship, construction, professional mastery, practical skills, honor and reward through skill and good organization and creative instinct. The negative is childish behavior, pettiness, uncertainty, wastefulness, and low quality. You know, and that keeps coming across, the wasted energy, the wasted energy, the wasted energy. I don't know if the number 63 means anything to anybody out there. But also the number 39. So either 63 or 39. How strange. I don't know. Do you know what water glass is? Have you ever seen that? Those are those blocks of clear glass. Sometimes they're colored, and they have like streaks that run through them, like where you can see where the glass had run down. It's known as water glass, if I'm not mistaken. And there's this subtle here in the card, it has a subtle stained glass effect effect. It's dark on the right, and in the center there is some kind of light illumination, and then it's dark. It's a bluish color over here, but it's a blackish over there. And when I turn the card upside down, it really looks like there's a cityscape here or some type of landscape, but it's very difficult to make out. Whereas when I look at the card right side up, it just looks like the blobs of stuff is coming down. But in the background, this really looks like some kind of cityscape, some kind of landscape. So either the numbers 39 or 63. I feel that I believe that the father of this particular male has a huge influence over him. I don't know who this person is in the painting, but look at that. He's like he's watching him. You know? And the face is so stern in that. The Hierophant can be doing the right thing. Well, you know, this is what you should do. Let's look at this 3 here in the center. This is the eclipse reading. I might come back and do another one a few days before the large eclipse. Whatever this is, whomever recognizes this, I think you kind of needed to hear this. Right in the center. What do you know? You know, a lot of these cards keep talking about, you know, that things are going to change. Things will be turning out for the better. And like I said, I do feel in some respect that you have already made some offer to assist in whatever manner that may be, because I think the person is completely alone and isolated. There is la riunione, allegria, and the messaggere, news from far away. Now, that's not the happiness of the heart, but to me it is some kind of indication that there may be news coming back from this person, that if that your friendship has been, if you have been separated as friends, there's been no contact. I feel that's what's in the center. There's still stuff going on around. So this is the prospect of being able to rekindle that, that relationship. Wow, isn't that interesting? If you'd like a personal reading, you can simply click on the box there. That'll take you directly over to my website. Readings by phone. My turnaround time is between 24 to 72 hours. It does require both payment confirmation and the booking form. For a reading by phone, when you get to the site, you'll see tarot readings on the menu. Hover your mouse over that. A secondary menu will pop out. Please read the important information on booking before booking a phone reading. Private video readings, there's a menu button there. You can click on that. That is self-explanatory. I will have up, bring you the rest of part 3 of Get Lucky over on the site. I'm also going to bring you the mythological series to help you get to know your asteroids a little bit better. And I have just completed, hey Skinny Bee, I have just completed, I want to thank you so much. I just did my guinea pig astrological reading with Skinny Bee last night. There's one more that I'm going to conduct so I can kind of get it down exactly the way that it is, but it will be a 3-question reading, but it will also, I will teach you how to read your astro.com chart, how to look at the transits, how to do a synastry chart there, but also do some reading for you using your asteroid chart about the 3 questions that you have. So I'm going to have that product up and ready to go by Monday. That's pretty much it. I've got an idea on the price point. You can just check back by Monday. It's going to be all up, self-explanatory. I will also go ahead and put up the regular astrological reports, the natal reports. And so expect this series of products to come out. Be looking for a new card under the tarot circle. For those of you who have not come over to the website, there is so much information on the website. You can pay $7 for 30-day access. You still get your 2 free birth charts. You get an opportunity to come in and see the individual monthly tarot readings. You get a chance to read about the astrology articles. You can come and ask questions, post up your factors or whatever it is underneath any article that's there. If you have a question about something that you read, let's see. Those Akashic records are there, you know, and this might be a good time if any of you have been wanting, but like I said, people who get Akashic records readings, they just book. They don't bother to contact me. That's because they're ready. You feel like you want to cut some cords before this eclipse, you can do that. There's etheric cord cutting. There's also a new link for you to learn astrological forecasting. You don't necessarily have to want to write horoscopes, but it's such a good course to show you really in a very simplified, easy manner how you can read your own chart. You can do your own, it's a great course. So you can check that out as well. I do hope to see you guys. I don't know if I'll be back before the weekend. I've got a lot of stuff planned to get done. Philippa H., I did get your email. I want you to, I will email you in a couple of, if I don't get to it today, tomorrow. I think it's imperative that you get an astrological reading. and we're going to have to figure out how to get that done for you. So I hope you hear this. So that's it. I hope that message helped. That was quite a rather strange story to be told, but I think that somebody out there needed to hear it. And if there was, even if the story did not resonate with you, maybe there was something in it that I said that might help you in some situation. I don't know. Till next time, namaste.